Shazam! What's up, everybody? It's me, Spider-Man. No, I'm just kidding. It's me, Greg Miller. Oh, I know. Sorry.
Shit.
Sorry, Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Hi, guys.
Sorry, producer/producer Nick Scarpino.
Hi, Greg.
Sorry, Pure Winnet, Tim
Get a
Gettys.
little fuzz in your face. Get a little fuzz
Fix
in your face.
fix the fuzzy on my face. We all just went and saw Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok.
Now it's time for us to react to it. If you've never seen a Kind of Funny reacts, it's simple. We'll do the first part spoiler free, then we will make it very clear, hey, we're going to talk about spoilers. That's when if you haven't seen it, you get out, you come back and watch it later. Spoiler free, what a delight this movie is.
What a joy.
I haven't had that
Such
much
a
fun
joy.
watching a movie.
Yeah.
Not just a Marvel movie, because everyone always like, oh, is it a good Marvel movie? I haven't had that much fun watching a comedy in a long time.
Yeah.
That movie that had legit laugh out loud moments that came in such quick succession for me that I actually didn't have enough time to laugh at the thing before something else funny happened. And I feel like similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, it had that same fun vibe, and it was exactly what I needed to see.
I mean, watching it and then thinking about it after the fact, what I love is the fact that Marvel is finally at a place to get weird. And just be like,
It's fucking weird.
you know all these people, you know all the players, we have this cool
Let's
sandbox.
experiment with them.
Everybody
Yeah,
get in
fuck
there and
it.
let's just have it. Hey, everybody hated Thor 1 and 2. What do they like about Thor? They like him when he's funny, they like his one-liners, they like his interaction with the Hulk. Let's just fucking make a movie about
They
that.
don't really like Hulk enough to give him his own movie. You know what?
Yeah.
Him and Thor. If we put them together, people will
Boom.
love it.
Done.
They
What
will
an
love
insane
it.
movie. And you did great in the movie, by the way, Nick.
Thank you.
You're a phenomenal
Thank you.
grandmaster.
A lot of people don't know I was actually the stand-in for most of those scenes and dialogue for Jeff Goldblum.
You did all of his stunts.
Well, on top of that, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you pose for this poster and then they just airbrushed Chris Hemsworth's face?
Yeah,
over
it's
you?
amazing how it's kind of crazy because they made him just a little bit taller. Let me give him a little kiss there.
Very nice.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
it's crazy how much we look alike. Actually, we could
Yeah.
be. I could be the
Stunning.
fourth Hemsworth.
You
brother,
could be.
or
You
he
could
could be
be.
the third Scarpino brother.
Let
me try. Can I?
do it. There you go. Then yeah.
Is it working?
Man, jeez.
Dun,
Spinning image.
dun, 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 dun. I think that
who?
might be the Marine song.
Who's who?
That was actually the Marines.
The few, the proud, the Marines. I know the Avengers theme when I hear it, but I can't recite it. You know what I mean? Like, we're the Avengers. We're the Avengers.
Something like that.
No, that's not it either.
Something like that.
I wasn't expecting to. I mean, like, I thought this movie was going to be fun, but I remember at one point we were reading news about this on the morning show, and they mentioned
The improv.
that a lot of the scenes were just, they were going back and just improving a bunch of scenes, and we all kind of like, oh shit, this
no.
isn't good news. Like,
Yeah.
this movie's in trouble. And God, I'm so thankful that they did that.
It worked out, man. It was legitimately funny. You were saying that it's like the best comedy you've seen all year. I totally agree. Like, this was a funny movie throughout. I do feel like it was inconsequential in a lot of ways in terms of the grand Marvel whole thing.
Sure, yeah.
Who the fuck cares?
But
it doesn't matter at all. I love that we've earned this. We've gotten to a point that there's been so many movies, and again, they could have had another Thor movie. No one
Sure.
wants that. Nobody wants that.
Well, that we went and saw at Alamo. They do those recap. They do like their pre-show entertainment with their cuts, and it was like previously on Thor, and like literally the Dark World. I was like, I don't remember
a
the elves
goddamn
at
thing,
all.
dude.
I mean, I remember the Loki's relationship with Thor, and like tricking
Even
him.
this
and-
movie makes fun of it. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
of course, of course. Of course.
They took away the mythical elements and like super serious tone and just made it a wacky sci-fi movie that you could have put. I feel like you could have put the Guardians of this movie and it would be just as entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. I think that that's what was very surprising to me. Is I went in thinking, okay, it's going to be the best of a Thor movie. It wasn't a Thor movie. This was something different, and it was something special and fun. And it was more akin to a Guardians of the Galaxy movie than it was anything else.
And I think that it was the best of the comedic Marvel movies.
Oh, see, the thing is this.
Well, I think that line's getting blurred. kinda.
Well, I don't know, because I think back to Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, and it had great moments. It had good moments between the cast. I feel like the improv in this and the cast in this, you just feel like they were having a blast shooting this movie.
Sure.
And I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it was a nightmare to shoot. You never know. But like the scenes with everything that Jeff Goldblum did, you just feel like maybe they were like, we have a script or
we could just have them exist.
just let Jeff Goldblum do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
And those are the takes they chose to use. There's one point in this where Jeff Goldblum just stops talking. He just gets halfway through his line and then goes,
I'm such and
And then
such,
it
better
just
yet.
cuts.
And everybody kind of went.
it's so fucking
Yeah.
funny, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like
laughed
they knocked
hard
out of
at
the
a lot
park
of
on
these,
this.
at a lot of these parts, and I believe that the Rock character that we found out is the director.
director.
Yeah.
Voiced by the director. I thought it was Charlton Copley. easily the standout hit of the movie because we all
sure.
kind of knew that like Hulk was going to be funny and Goldblum was going to deliver, but this guy that nobody knew was even in the movie, I think, delivered a lot.
Well, it's funny because then when we left and somebody was like, "Oh, it's the director," I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I went to the IMDb page and he came up and I was like, "Oh, right, the director's the what we do in Shadows guy, and he's the funny vampire." So of course that makes sense.
So
That's great.
it's that damn dry New Zealand like accent,
Yeah.
where the difference between like scared and happy is like right here on the
Yeah,
spectrum.
yeah.
There's just no differential
Sure,
between the two.
sure.
Well, it's kind of like a happy Batista.
Yes.
From Guardians,
Yeah.
you know, where it's like it was anything he did was funny because of how he said it.
Yeah.
But it was like just a totally different tone to
Well,
it.
he looks like the Thing, and he sounds like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing, fellas?" Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really
you nailed
awesome.
that way too much.
Yeah,
Andy.
I've been practicing the whole Uber home. Yeah.
It was very
And
awkward.
I mean, shout out to Chris Hemsworth too. Where like I did not
Dude.
think he had the comedy chops for this.
Well, that's the thing is shout out to the entire cast. So what you're saying is that we earned it, right? Is that in a weird way, this feels like its own Avengers. Whereas when we saw Avengers, it was the payoff to all these different movies and we knew all these different characters and we were ready to go. I remember when like making fun of the Thor movies for continually using Loki, whereas this one I was so excited to have Loki in the film from the start. He was so great in the film from the start. And have him come back and do all his things and have the thing and like fucking the snake story Thor tells about Loki. It was just like we know these characters. We know Thor. We know Loki. We know Hulk. We like let's get them into a goofy, weird situation in a weird world and do all stuff. Bring in Kate Blanchett, who's amazing, who's just awesome. As this
I
character.
didn't like her.
Really, you didn't like her at all? I loved her.
I love
My
it.
thing was the enemy, generic Marvel enemy
Super
number
generic.
209, which is like whatever. Like that is not even a complaint to have with these movies at this point. Just go into it understanding that there needs to be something to progress the plot, and there needs to be something to make all the jokes have a reason to exist. I thought she was very just like, all right, here's my lines. I'm gonna read them.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
I thought she
And
was
also, I thought her whole plot like was just so lazy, where it's just like, and I get it, cool, it might be from the comics.
This is
but
where I don't know too much about this, but like she's the goddess of death, right? Like she's supposed to be this like, isn't she? She's tied in somehow with Thanos, isn't she? Like to some degree, or no? Am I totally crazy?
Mr. Marvel.
I'm looking
at
off to
Rich.
my Marvel expert, but he's on the phone. Is the goddess of death Hela?
No.
Good name by the way. Tied into Thanos at all?
fan.
Okay.
No, he's
never
in
mind.
love with death.
I was talking to
think
Mr.
he-
Marvel,
he wasn't-
not Kevin Coelho.
So he's in love with death, not the goddess of death. Okay, and they're not the same character. Okay, thank you, sir. Whose name shall remain.
Andy said it. I don't think it
well,
really
man.
matters. Or
Never
it could be
mind.
anybody named
That's
Rich. It
true.
doesn't matter.
We got
you
a
know
lot of
what I
friends
mean?
named Rich.
We do. You know what I mean?
Richie
Rich
Rich.
Eisenberg is always coming through here.
Rich
Eisen,
McGillicuddy.
I think is what you meant to say.
friend I just made.
Rich Eisen, the
From me-
NFL.
Oh, right, Eisenberg. Yeah.
Rick Grimes.
Heisenberg was the meth dealer, right? From Breaking Bad.
so
not the same Rich.
Finds a way. You sound just like Goldblum right now.
God, so good. Are we going into the spoilers?
Yeah, I think we should go into
Let's go
spoiler zone
spoilers.
now.
Before we go into spoilers, something I want to say, because
yeah.
you brought up the word delight.
Yeah.
And until you said that, I didn't really put my finger on it, but it reminds me of Mario Odyssey, where
Yep.
it's just like every single thing that happens is delightful and
Yeah,
fun. And
exactly.
you don't see it coming, and then when it happens, you're like, that works. Cool,
Yeah.
on to the next thing. You know,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like it's little
Every
bite-sized
moment in the
pieces
movie
of
was great.
happiness.
Every part
I had
of the movie was
such
great.
a smile on my face leaving that theater.
You were laughing out loud.
Yeah, dude.
I heard
Both
the
of you were
Andy-
Oh
laughing.
yeah, I was gonna say that I heard the Nick laugh a few
I was
times.
dying. I'm not kidding. There were moments of that legit made me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Not like a force that was funny. I should acknowledge this. Like in
They're
some of
not.
the-
It's not a play. They don't hear you.
No, but you know what I mean? Like in some of the Marvel things, you're like, you know what? That like some of the Marvel stuff before in Guardians didn't quite hit.
dry your hands on
But
the
but I was like, that was fun. It gets all right. You get a little like that was good. That was good. A little.
Jen was bringing up a lot of comparisons to Guardians in the car as well.
100%.
100%.
I get it to an extent, but I think that the Guardians has that tinge of darkness to it. Like those characters are not great people, whereas this
They're
one,
troubled assholes.
Thor
Like
and
Loki in
Banner
this.
in this. Yeah, but
And
Loki.
we had Hulk.
Loki's been around. Hulk's not a bad guy.
smash.
Hulk is a bad guy.
No, he is not a bad
Hulk
guy.
kills people.
Hulk is a giant child. That was the whole thing in there with like the great pouty moments and stuff. Quiet down.
Nobody can hear you.
Nobody can hear you, and they don't agree with you anyway. Movie's amazing. Everybody should go see it.
Big fan.
Definitely
Big
going to
fan.
be high on my Marvel list when we
Yeah,
inevitably
golly.
re-rank all
We're
these
gonna
things.
re-rank those because Tim.
I wasn't expecting this to be anywhere near the top, and oh man,
This right now. I'm granted. There's still the glow of having just seen.
I mean,
it.
I just.
It's at least
but,
top 10.
I mean,
if not
there's a
top
glow
5.
there. That's the thing.
It's top 10 for sure out of 17.
Top 5.
Top
Might be,
I
it
don't know-
might
I
be
don't know
creeping
if
into
it's
top
top
5.
five.
I have to go back and look at
Might
my
into
top
the
5
top
list,
7
but this
for
may
me.
have edged out Doctor Strange. So I think Doctor Strange is up there. It may have edged that out. And it definitely would have edged out Guardians. Like, I love Guardians, don't get me wrong, but this one was like everything I wanted Guardians to be, like plus 10%.
My thing is,
Guardians?
we've talked about this a lot on Game Over Grady's show, where it's like comedies, like you can't really rank comedies as best movies of all time because it's subjective and like whatever. Sure. I think that because of that, this was a great comedy movie, but this is not like there's the top 5 Marvel movies. I feel like that needs to mean something. And I feel like this doesn't do that. This is a great movie that I enjoyed a lot. And I feel like it would totally not work without all of the things that have built up to it. But I don't know. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but it's just
fair
like,
to argue.
Well, this is when you weren't on the Game Over Grady show where you ranked him, right? But that was my argument of like why I think I like Spider-Man Homecoming the best out of any of the Marvel movies, but I put Avengers ahead of it in terms of my number 1 pick. But I also said that this is a cheat. You know what I mean? Like, Avengers isn't coming out of the blue. Avengers is amazing because I know these characters so well. I think it's the same thing here, where this is a cheat of why this movie's so great is the fact that, yeah, I want more Hulk, and yeah, I want more. And, what's interesting about how much I like this movie is the fact that my expectations have been literally high since the original thing leaked. Of like, it's gonna be an 80s buddy cop flick with Thor and Hulk. And you're like, what? That sounds fucking awesome. And then that first trailer came and you're like, this looks fucking awesome.
See, my thing with that though is I feel like I love the movie for all these reasons, but I feel like the Mark Ruffalo we saw in this character and the Chris Hemsworth we saw in this movie and the Chris Hemsworth we saw in this movie aren't the characters that we have seen in a bunch of other movies.
They're way
Chris
more
Hemsworth
loose.
is
They're way more
almost there.
loose.
The way Mark Ruffalo was acting is like, this is not the Bruce Banner that we've seen before. And granted, okay, he's on Alien World, and you can make excuses for why. But
Well, they give you literally exposition about that, right? He's been away for 2 years.
But
Spoilers.
he's freaking out, sort of thing.
I feel like we should go into the spoiler section now.
I mean, that's not that big of a spoiler or whatever, but yeah, okay.
yeah.
All right, so we're going to spoilers. Everyone loves the movie. Go see the movie. The movie's great. Now it's spoiler. We can get into the spoilers.
Yeah, so I mean, like that. There was some things, some elements that I felt like were either generic or maybe like didn't hit as hard as the other things. But that's like one too many scenes of people like clubbing through these generic.
The re-animated
So
dude.
can we
It's
just
like,
talk for a
whatever.
second that
But-
they used Zeppelin not once, but twice,
It was, like, so many times.
and it was fucking awesome both times.
They literally used Immigrant Song twice in its original form, and then they also had it like flavored in to different parts of it. Did you catch that?
Into the score?
Yeah, into the
score was amazing.
Oh, it's
by
great.
the way.
It was
oh
super
my
great.
god.
When Thor
Made zero sense. I
when
don't know why it
Thor's
was 80s
leading up to
inspired, why
meeting
not?
Goldblum,
The Willy Wonka
they're
song.
playing the Willy Wonka song, right? It was like fake, but I'm like,
screaming through the tunnel.
it's just there with all the people. It was
Such a weird scene.
It was so good. From the second Goldblum hits to the second you don't see Goldblum anymore. It is Goldblum's movie. They just made another movie around it. You know, like you get that feeling that when they got him on set, they were like, "We got to put him in worse scenes. This is so good." As he's walking him over, he walks over to a turntable and starts DJing for no reason.
Why the
for no
fuck
reason.
not?
It's your birthday, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Why the orgy thing?
Yeah.
Again, everything Goldblum was in was just gold.
The movie in general, though, I mean, like, every turn was so great. And when Thor goes back to Asgard, right, and he walks in and Odin is totally acting like Loki, it was awesome to see Anthony Hopkins playing Tom Hiddleston's Loki, right?
Oh, right,
And then, like, fucking watching them and then it's Matt Damon on set. It's that
good.
guy from Jurassic Park whose name I can
Sam
never
Neill.
remember.
Sam Neill.
Sam
Yeah.
Neill fucking being Odin.
It was the other
Like,
Hemsworth you
Yeah,
it was,
apparently.
it was Luke Hemsworth, the guy
Luke
from
Hemsworth.
Westworld. What a
So
what
fun.
a
So we had
great
two
like.
Westworld
Yeah, we had
stars
two.
in this movie.
Yeah, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
okay.
But that's what I love about this was it feels like at every point they had a decision to make. There was the safe decision, this is a decision that works, and then they sat and were like, what's the funnier fucking thing we can do, right?
Yeah.
You know that aha moment you always get when you're trying to brainstorm something and someone has the idea? It feels like every joke, everything, like someone at some point said, you know, it'd be really fucking funny is if Matt Damon was Loki.
Yeah.
And they fucking got it. Like it doesn't make any. I saw it like, oh, we're on a different level now,
with
dude.
how
We are
wa-
on a different strategy.
With how wacky and just odd this movie is, I still have to think about Edgar Wright's Ant-Man. Like, how crazy could that movie have been?
And you saw the hints of it.
But I think
What
I think you're on the right track of like this movie's inconsequential to the grander scheme. Like, this isn't an origin story. Marvel wanted to get those origin stories right. I think on here, or Marvel just like, fuck it.
You
do whatever
know
you want.
Thor, you know Loki, you
Right.
know
The
Hulk.
fact that we could talk about like the spoilers here, they literally are like, no one gives a fuck about Asgard. Done. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
gone.
yeah, yeah.
Go-
Doesn't
we're-
matter.
We're taking them to Earth.
Stop having a reason for him to be off Earth.
And that was the thing too, is like I do feel like to be a bit critical of the movie, the all the Hela stuff and the Asgard stuff, it was like that felt like a more traditional Marvel movie. When I was like, oh, I just want to go back to the other stuff. And then every time we go, whenever Kate Blanchett would like make a joke, I'm like, this feels wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
For
like,
me, I love
she'd
that
make a
joke.
couple jokes and then she'd be the bad guy.
She did make a joke on the sort of grand stage
Stage.
near the throne.
When
that
she
didn't hit.
explained, oh really?
Yeah,
When
to-
she explains who she is.
Yeah, no, not
Okay.
that part.
It was that part where she's
it's-
talking about the executioner or whatever it was. And
I
she was
believe
like,
so. Yeah, oh,
usually
yeah.
they execute orders or people or whatever.
It
My
was-
grand vision or something.
yeah,
I
it was
going
the-
off
Oh yeah,
at the point.
yeah. He executes people, but he also executes their vision.
Yeah.
But he also is mainly
Yeah,
execute
mostly-
people.
But like their vision, that I felt like should have hit. And I don't know. There were some kind of odd parts. I really liked her though. I thought she was awesome. And God, and like, don't we have two Lord of the Rings movie actors from here too? Fucking.
ones?
Well,
we don't have any Clerks actors though. That's the important thing.
well, it was Kate Blanchett and Carl Urban.
Oh, right.
I mean, Matt
Carl
Damon
Urban.
exists in the Kevin Smith universe, so I think
true.
that's
But-
Right.
Fuck you.
If you askew
What are the
verse.
chances?
Yeah.
When was he in Mallrats? I'm thinking of Chasing Amy.
No, you're right.
Snoochie
He was-
Boochies.
He was not in
Dog
Mallrats.
Universe, you know.
Oh, and then obviously Dogma is his main character.
Fair point. No, I mean that's the thing. There's some criticisms you could run at this. But at the end of the day, this was probably start to finish the most fun I've had watching a Marvel movie in a really, really long time. Probably since Iron Man.
We just saw Spider-Man though.
Spider-Man was great.
And that
but
was fun as hell,
Spider-Man
too.
was awesome. But Spider-Man, what Spider-Man did for a lot of the action set pieces, this I think did for the comedy of the series. Right? There were just moments in this where I'm like, I can't believe they just did that. And every single time I thought it was going to be one thing, or thought it was going to be something completely different, and hoping it was going to be that thing, it was that thing.
Well, I
like
really-
when he falls there, he's like, "You're going to see who I am."
Oh,
I'm like,
I
he's
mean-
going to fall off the fucking bridge, but that sound he makes.
I kind of saw
It's
that
like the
coming, and I
skin.
still laughed
Yeah,
really
that's
hard.
the thing.
fucking
I feel like
hilarious.
that you just described this movie so well. I kind of saw it coming, and it still made
It
me
still
laugh.
hit me.
Yeah.
It still hit me.
I mean, I'd say the last time that I enjoyed a Marvel movie this much was Guardians 2. I liked Guardians. Like I feel like I like Guardians 2 a little bit more than Homecoming.
Oh wow.
And for me, it's just
You're
like
wrong, it's
for me,
cool,
it's a
but-
constant comedy. It's the constant laughs.
I
Where
feel like- oh,
in
sorry, go
Spider-Man, I'm just like, oh, these kid actors suck. Like that's how I
You're
felt.
crazy.
not.
You're fucking
No,
Speak of
the
Zendaya that
extra
way.
kids, the fucking extras, like not.
Flash?
Not Flash was
Thompson.
terrible, man.
Sorry, buddy.
Flash was terrible.
He was not
That is
terrible.
true.
He was an
Terrible.
awkward
That
kid.
is true.
No, he was a bad actor.
He was a
My
bad
friend Rich
actor.
Eisenberg from ESPN just gave me a thumbs up.
He's approving some fantasy trades right now.
No, what's interesting, I think, is comparing it to Spider-Man in the way that when I left Spider-Man and I was like, I love that movie. I think it's my favorite Marvel movie, and I still to this day say it is. Spider-Man gave me elicited different emotions where I enjoyed the ride the entire time, but like I always talk about on the plane, right? I'm sitting there, mouth covered, tapping my foot, like actually anxious of how is he going to get out of this. Whereas this, Thor Ragnarok, is so much like Super Mario, where it's like, I'm not sweating a fucking thing.
Nope.
These guys are having a ball. This is great. And it is the thing of like when Carl Urban jumps back out. It was like, yeah, fuck, of course you're gonna. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, yeah,
And
fuck
that's the thing.
yeah.
It's like you were saying that there's too many scenes of him or people mowing
Yeah.
people down. There absolutely was. But they were
100%.
fucking fun every time. And
They
I was just
were.
like, he did the fuck when he went lightning god and did the fucking Raiden spin.
When Immigrant
Oh, yeah.
song pops up and the
Dude,
lightning god
and
part,
it's-
man, I had chills.
They had those
all
great,
over
they had
my
those
body.
really beautiful tableau scenes where it was like, you know, like two characters coming at each other.
yeah.
With
Yeah.
this beautiful, almost like like God touching man. You know,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
portrait.
yeah.
They had a couple of those moments, and I'm like, fuck
When Thor came back with the lightning
Fuck
coming down on the
yes.
army, and then in the very beginning when Thor still had Mjolnir. I'm sorry, the hammer, Meyer, and he threw it around, and like we followed the hammer around.
dude.
I was like,
Great.
that's
Incredible
awesome! What a great
choreography.
action scene! Yeah.
I think-
Also, in 3D.
Hold on, Kevin's coming
sorry,
off the
Kevin.
I was
bench.
just gonna say the fight scenes were amazing. Like
Yeah.
the fact that we saw Thor fight Hulk, like
That was a great
holy
fight.
shit.
That was a great fight.
That was a
It was
great
cool to see him
fight.
like.
Yeah.
It was cool to see everybody shocked to that. Like, oh my god.
It wasn't just like,
And
oh, here are
Loki's
punches.
reaction?
Like they were like
Doing cool choreography.
Yeah, it was
shit.
choreographed.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it
When
felt
the first time he hits
real.
him with the hammer and he goes, but the structure is
the
so
wall.
intact
Yeah.
that he just rides the wall
Rides the
all the way
wall,
around.
yeah.
I'm like, that's
Also,
fucking cool.
3D. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I didn't,
I gotta
didn't
tell
either.
ya, I
Yeah,
thought
it
it
was
was-
not my preferred.
I still hate
methodology,
3D, but
I mean, I thought it was amazing seeing the Valkyrie scene against Hela.
That was cool.
That was
And
so
seeing
good.
them
That was stunning.
riding on the unicorns,
Stunning.
that looked. I mean, the
Pegasus.
Pegasus. That looked amazing in 3D. I'm really happy that I'm glad that it didn't
But
make the movie
the
for
one
me.
scene
But
that I really didn't like in 3D was anytime it cut back to Anthony Hopkins on the fucking green grass.
Yeah, that was
Like
weird.
the
Ah.
it looks
With his old
weird.
man
You could see
jeans.
the
Yeah, it
planes,
looked
yeah.
super just like there was like a 2D image of him
Yeah.
compared to
Hold on,
like
everybody.
the
Nick's got
depth.
something to say.
Am I crazy or were they drinking paint can in one of the scenes? Did you see that? When he was behind the lasers.
Oh,
and he goes,
she
"Hey,
went and got
Valkyrie."
like a giant bucket. I
She had a
assumed it had
bucket, but
beers
it
in
looked
it.
like a paint can.
Sure, I assume there was bottles of beer.
Oh, we gotta have to
When she
watch
gets
this
up there,
again.
she drinks.
Okay.
She's drinking
well, I don't know
beers
why
over.
Anthony Hopkins in the green grass scenes was fucking just like Mr. Rogers. What was that all about?
He was, those were his old man
all
human
of that
clothes.
shit was so like I was
was
like,
weird.
nah, I don't like this at all.
I don't understand.
that was
I don't
just-
think it was very clear why he lost his power or why that was taken away from
I mean,
him.
he
Or why
didn't
he
lose
said
his power. I think he was ready to give it
he
up.
just wanted to
He heard
die.
he heard his wife calling to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when
Shout out to Renee Russo.
inevitably Jean-Pierre
yeah.
Saint-Onge dies before me.
No.
And one day,
No.
in one
She's
day,
way
Mary
healthier
Jane
than you are, sir.
Spider-Man.
You're lucky if you make it to 50. She's making it to 90.
what would kill me?
Oh, man.
I'm invulnerable.
You are vulnerable. You're mad. Oh, God, I had one more point to make, but I don't know. I
say
could
the-
gush for the next 30
final
minutes
scene.
about
I
this.
like actually cried of laughter with the
Oh,
Rock
dude.
character talking
was
about his
so
dead buddy,
fucking
dude.
and
And
talking.
that's the fucking thing.
I
of this
laughed
movie.
so hard that I had tears in my eyes. Like I had to wipe them because it was
Where
gonna
do you,
fuck
what's
up
his
with the
name?
3D.
Where do you want to go? Blah blah blah. He's like, oh, he's dead.
He's dead.
and then he comes
Guess
back.
why? He's like, because I accidentally stepped on him on the Rainbow Bridge. Because like, oh, that's it.
Oh, he's alive, guys.
Where were you from again? Earth it is.
God, oh, too much. Joey brought up a good point when we were done watching this. She goes, I could actually legitimately watch that again
100%.
right now.
Well-
And I'm excited to because my wife wasn't here watching it with us. I'm excited to take her to go see that at some point. Probably not this weekend because we have extra life. Maybe Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go home and she's gonna say, "How was it?" I'm like, "You just have to come see
Yeah.
this movie."
Well,
You're
yeah,
gonna love
Joey
it.
made
It's
the
gonna be
point of
super
like,
fun.
it's so true about. There's so many scenes that we missed jokes.
We laughed over
because we were laughing.
I
over
couldn't
jokes.
follow on the second of lines. It was so great.
When
I
you-
wouldn't want to watch it again.
What?
I definitely.
I
You're
thought-
a
I thought it
joyless
was funny.
human.
No,
Fucking beat this man.
Spider-Man. When I finished Spider-Man, my first thing I was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for Gia to see this. I can't wait to bring my friends. Even you, like you
Yeah.
saw it with me. I'm like, we gotta go watch this fucking movie. This, I'm like, it's very, very, very funny. My friends can watch it without me. I don't need to see it.
Man,
I fucking loved it. But it's like I want the memory of this movie to be what it was, which is it's funny as fuck. But I just feel like I get it.
I'd equate Spider-Man: Homecoming to Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, where it's magical. It's bringing back all these childhood images back to me of like exploring and like having tears in my eyes, seeing Spider-Man flying through the boat and all that shit. Like that was the magic that I felt as a kid watching this. But like I don't really feel like I need to watch it again. Once I'm done with Breath of the Wild, I'm done. Forever. Until the DLC.
DLC.
Until the DLC.
What movie? I'm sorry. What video game would you equate Suicide Squad with?
The RoboCop.
Devil May
game.
Cry 2.
No, you know what? The Ninja Turtles game on NES.
Oh no.
Terrible.
No,
was
there was
hard.
redeeming
That was hard.
qualities about that.
No,
game.
God,
the
no.
soundtrack,
They're awful.
fantastic.
Terrible.
Donatello's stick.
Fucking.
Ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of Thor Ragnarok? Let us know in the comments below, then like, share the video. Maybe your friends haven't seen Thor Ragnarok. What you want to do is dial the video back to right after we say spoilers, timestamp it, share that link with them so we spoil the shit out of the
Yeah.
movie for them.
Idiots.
Just be a dick,
Dumbledore
right?
dies.
Yeah, page 67.
There it is.
It's way deeper in the book.
Yeah, way deeper.
It's like,
that's
she's
like
still like
second
describing the
last
train.
chapter,
The train hits Dumbledore.
Yeah, they were
I
still
don't
eating
know.
chocolate at that point in the book.
the wind.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're kind of funny. We love you very much. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Bye.